This is going to be what I'd consider kind of the plaza or the courtyard. We're going to have nice covered ticket booths that you're going to come in. And then you're going to basically have this plaza. And then right here, you're going to be able to walk right to the restroom or the concession stand. And I think what really stands out to me, once you park and you get in the facility, you're literally a, 30-second walk and you're in a seat. So I think it's going to be fan-friendly from that standpoint. And this is going to be a mini store for the Booster Club. They may either have some product in there or they may roll it out of here. Kind of a small store for our Booster Club. This here is going to be our concession stand. Basically, we're going to have 4 lines. I think what stands out is we've got a professional freezer that we've never had. This is going to kind of be their home base for all concessions. So if they've got candy bars or pretzels back there and they need them, they can always come here. So this will kind of be their warehouse. And even in some of the older concession stands, because of the heat, we lost candy and product. So in here, we actually have what you would have in a professional school kitchen, and then that they can keep stuff fresh and keep stuff on stock so they don't run out. The second tier all the way down will be fenced in, and we will have slats in the fencing to not only make it look cosmetically better, but then we'll also be able to store stuff in there and it not be an eyesore. We're going to leave this open just for movement, for people to be able to move and see and not be, if we put the fence on the outside, it's going to make it a little more crowded. These areas over here are kind of winged areas. These will have railing, safety railing obviously, but you can see, you could certainly have vendors here. You may have, as a fan, I may stand right here and watch the whole game. So I could envision railing, and as a fan, I may choose to stand here all night and watch the game. So I think on each end, even though we'd love for people to sit down, you're still going to have some standing area for people. And I think what's really going to be exciting is our kids are going to come out and they're going to enter the field right here coming down. So I could envision our students and fans kind of overseeing them as they're kind of coming out of their locker room. This is the main entryway into what you consider the players' locker room and meeting room. As you come in, this is going to be, you're going to have lockers in here. You'll have a full set of lockers. As you come across, this is going to be a full training room for Mr. Fleer, for Gabe Fleer. We'll have training room and rehab equipment and so on. So he'll be able to take care of people right here, taping tables and so on, whirlpools. This will basically be an area where the coaches can meet and discuss and, plan. They can meet with kids or game plan. Kind of the coaches area, an office for our head coach, for Coach Baldwin. And again, this will be, probably in the next month, we'll see lockers in here. This next room is going to be a team meeting room. So with a varsity football team, you're going to meet, and you may meet with 3 or 4 different groups from the defense to the offense. And this is going to give us a little bit of room to break those meetings up. So you can see somebody meeting right here, and then in here's probably where they're going to have their pregame. This won't just be used by football, it could be used by various groups throughout the year. You may have your track team in here, you may have your cross-country kids in here. They can meet in here and discuss and get ready. Probably after they're dressed and they get in here, it's probably where they're getting ready to walk out. What we've tried to do here is we've got 3 storage bins. For example, this may be football, this is football storage. And if you come out, I'll kind of show you. So we'll have some racks in here, you'll store equipment. And then we will have a storage room for track right here, and then this will be for band. So band will be able to take equipment and roll their equipment right out of the room, right down to the field. So, those days of the band having to load up a diesel to take everything, they'll be able to bring everything from the classroom or the band room and then stuff here they need for Friday nights will all be ready, and they'll literally be about 30 yards from their bleachers. We're coming from what I'd consider to be the main plaza, the concession stand, the ticket area where you first come in. And what I really do like is you're going to be able to pay and walk, and within about a minute you're going to be able to sit down. So this will be basically coming into the stadium. What stands out for me on the other side is we do have a full set of bleachers for our band, which I'm excited to give them their own space and room. The other building on the other side is concessions, restrooms, and locker room for the visitors. So what's nice is once we're playing somebody and they get here, not only do they have their own seating, but they have their own restrooms and concessions, and we can kind of keep us separate. Their stands are, I think, about what we had at the old, maybe a little bit more. What I really enjoy when I walk in this setting is not only do you have the stands that go up, but below ground level you now have the cement stands with several hundred seats there, and I envision a section of this probably being our student section. And again, that's not been set, but if it is, that kind of allows them their area, and they're not going to be like at the old stadium where they're standing up in front of people. They'll have their own section close to the field, close to our sideline, and I think that'll be exciting for them and for our kids and for our players. At the far end is our digital scoreboard that we will be doing training this summer on how to run that, but we're real excited about that. We will have a timing system for track, so some of the results can be put up there, and that'll be determined how much will you use that as far as track, as how often that will be used, but there will be some options for digital scoring and so on. The bleachers, initially when I saw our bleachers, I didn't think that it seemed like it was double the size of what we have at the current, at our old field. But I think once you get here, and certainly when you get field level and you look up, our old field went from the 30 to 30. These bleachers go from the 10 to the 10. So while they might not be as high as I expected, they're longer. So think of a long bleachers. And then again, once you get here, it's very obvious that it's double what we had. We're now in here, we're basically behind the press box. Each section, we have 5 sections of the press box. And what you have is you have a home coach's side, a visitor coach's side, a home media side, a visitor's media side, and then you've got the time, the clock people, the announcer, the 25-second clock, spotters will be in the middle. What I like about this is it's, in the old one we were all in one big room. Now you have your own room, and like for you or Republic Tiger Sports or radio station, they'll have some quiet. They won't be hearing different people and coaches and so on. It'll all be basically your own setup. So you envision the visiting coaches sitting in here, having chairs in here, and they get to spot up top. And then if you look through here, there's glass in between. So as you look through, again, you look at the media room, to the clock and announcer room, to the other media room, to the other coaches room. So we really feel like we've met everyone's need. And then up top, they'll have the ability to video, as you traditionally do in most stadiums. Until you get on the field, you really don't even have a total feel of the bleachers. So as you turn and look at the bleachers now, you can see where I kind of thought the bleachers felt a little smaller. When you get down here, they feel a little bigger, and certainly you got several hundred people you can put even in this lower level that when I drive up on the drive, you can't even see those. So again, I think our seating is going to be perfect. We did to help our band. If you look at these gray areas, these are basically the college hash marks. And many times in band competitions, you need to know those for your markings and so on for marching. So you've got your high school hash marks. The small gray ones are the college. If you see the black substance that's in there, that's the feel that is basically, if you look at grass, that is the feel. Really, if you're away, you can't really see that. If you ever watch a game on TV and you see a player cut on slow motion, you'll see that black stuff come up. And what that is for, it keeps the fibers of the turf up, but it's also there for our kids for protection on concussions. and when they hit the ground, it helps soften the blow. Each year our field will be tested, and there may be years where we have to actually come back and add that and spread it out and make sure that it stays safe. What makes the field a little bit unique is we stagger our shade of color every 10 yards. Myself personally, I was not in favor of that to begin with, but I'm really glad we did it. I think it looks really classy. I think if you look at our logo goes from the 36 to the 36. If you ever watch MU play on TV, you'll see that our logo here is actually a bigger logo than MU Stadium. So we're very proud of our orange and black, and I think it really stands out. And I think what kind of stands out on our field is actually some of the sidelines, the orange and black ribbon that wraps the field. We ended up going with orange end zone. Initially, we had looked at black. I think our committee and team kind of thought, since our track is going to be black, if we did black with a whole black track, maybe be a little bit dark. And it was nice to have the contrast of the orange with the black track.